Hey, welcome everybody. It is Tuesday and chamber check-in time, and today we get to learn an inspiring story about Tidwell Social Work Services from the founder, Kathy Tidwell. Hi, Kathy.
Hi.
I'm so excited to learn and hear more about how your organization is helping people with all kinds of different things. But first, before we get to that, I get to thank our series sponsor for these chamber check-ins, Delta Dental of Idaho. You know, Delta Dental of Idaho has been providing dental insurance for Idaho for over 50 years, and they're celebrating their smile anniversary. And their best-in-class service, their benefits are designed and backed by the largest network in dentists in the country. So with that, I get to share a fun video. Here we go.
So with Delta Dental, our benefits are based on calendar year, and that's per person on the plan. Every January, you get a new annual maximum to use towards your dental care for that year. If your company enrolls on our plan mid-year, we're going to credit your deductibles, and we'll start your annual max over again.
Thank you, Delta Dental. And hello, Kathy Tidwell. How are you doing today?
I'm good.
Hey, I got to meet you the other night at our president's reception, but we planned on having this conversation and sharing your story. So this is new for me too. I've never even heard your story of how your organization was founded and why. So, why don't you tell us a little bit about the what your business does, and then tell us how it got started.
Okay. So this is a mental health clinic. And I started this clinic initially as a solo practice in December of 2000. So it's been around a little over 20 years. And part of what happened right after I started the practice was there was a refugee community building project going on in Boise. Boise is one of the first cities that developed a comprehensive refugee infrastructure building plan that actually ended up being shared nationally. So we're lucky that Boise is such a welcoming city, and it has been for a very long time. So I was appointed as the mental health representative on that community building project in March of 2001. And that's really what started a big part of this journey for me, learning about refugees, learning about their journeys here, what kind of trauma they endured in the process of becoming U.S. residents. And so basically the practice had the big umbrella over the practice is trauma. So we serve a lot of people who have experienced traumatic things in their lives: child abuse, domestic violence, natural disasters, and refugee war trauma are the areas where we tend to focus. And the mission for us is really helping people to heal from what has happened to them. And a big part of that is establishing relationships with someone like me initially who isn't going to hurt them. So many of them have been hurt by other human beings. And so having a relationship with a human being that doesn't hurt you is a healing part of the process all by itself. And then, as the relationship develops, they're more able to kind of remember the things that have happened to them and sort of move them out of their bodies and out of their spirits, and begin to resume a life and build community with other people. So that's the short story about what we do. For no matter what kind of trauma it is, those are sort of the basic steps: helping them trust, helping them process what they've been through, and helping them reconnect with other human beings.
That's incredible. How did you get involved before this city-led mission? Were you involved in healthcare and mental health care prior, Kathy?
Oh yeah. So I came here to Idaho in 1989 as a clinical social worker. So I've been involved in both the mental health industry since then, as well as the child welfare industry. So I've kind of gone back and forth over the course of my career, working in both parts of things. So I experienced helping people through the traumatic experiences in lots of ways prior to starting my business. And yeah, worked in health and welfare, worked for the university, and then worked here.
And so you founded Tidwell Social Work Services back in 2002. Is that what I understand?
2000.
And basically helping the international people coming into the city, correct?
Yes.
But it's morphed into more. So that's a great segue into talking about, hey, you're not just exclusively helping one demographic. Now you're offering services to the entire population, correct?
We serve a whole variety of different kinds of people. So we serve children, we serve adults, we serve seniors. People get referred to us for a variety of reasons. Some people are suffering with lots of depression or with major mental illnesses. Some people, like the population that we tend to specialize in, have experienced traumatic experiences and they need help healing from those so that they can move beyond them and resume a life. So yeah, we serve just about anyone. We are providing a lot of services in schools the last few years. So last 2 years, I think we were in 7 of NAMPA's schools. So our clinicians go to the schools and they see students during the school day. They're also serving students in summer school right now. And then we also serve in a few schools in West Ada, and we'll be providing services in Boise School District this coming year. So we're providing a lot of services in the schools. We go into the community to serve people. So sometimes we serve people in their homes. Sometimes we serve them in a variety of different places, depending on what kind of service we're providing and what their needs are. And then, of course, we serve people at the clinic.
Okay, so you at the address, I'll bring up your website and phone number, how to reach you guys here in a minute. But this May, I learned that it was Mental Health Awareness Month. Mm-hmm. And I didn't know that was every year. And so we had some conversations with other mental health experts here. And so I'm glad that we get to talk today and continue the conversation on focusing on mental health. And, we had a crazy year this last year, and we're continuing to have some issues. So tell us about how you and your team have adapted through this last pandemic, and have you seen an insurge of patients, I guess, for lack of a better term?
Yeah, it has been a crazy year. So it really required us to pivot in a big way at the beginning of the pandemic from in-person services to telehealth services. So that was a big adjustment for all of us. And it was a big adjustment for clients, especially refugee clients who may not have access to computers, or young children who it's next to impossible to provide services for them through a computer screen. So, trying a variety of things to see like what was successful, what wasn't, who did we still need to bring into the office despite the risks. So some of the really young children, 3-year-olds, just we did not find successful ways of serving them through a computer for the most part. And so we saw them usually outside the clinic so that we were in the open air to diminish the levels of risk for us and for the children. And then with refugee clients, many of them use WhatsApp. So we used WhatsApp a lot for providing services as the kind of video conferencing platform. Some people only got services through the telephone, which leaves a great deal to be desired in terms of trying to help them through both what they had already experienced before they got here, but also what they experienced during the pandemic. And yes, the referral rates have maintained at a very high level. It's been very hard for us to keep up with the numbers of referrals that have come in the last year and a half. So we've had to hire a number of new clinicians and have had to hire many new community-based workers just to be able to kind of keep pace with the demand. So people have suffered in very different ways during the last year and a half. Wow. And part of, I think, what's unique about the pandemic is that it's not just the clients who have suffered through that, it's all of us.
Right.
And so we all had to figure out how to pivot over and over and over again as things changed, and how to help our clients through the anxiety that provoked for them and the sense of isolation that has occurred for many of our clients, and many of the students in the schools as well.
Right.
So a lot of the school referrals, I think, are pandemic related as well.
You made a great point just a second ago about your people. And I was on your website trying to digest some information about Tidwell. And I wasn't really that surprised, but you have some of the most talented people on your team that are helping others. Talk about that for a minute.
So we have sort of 3 basic teams. That our administration team includes our executive director, and Ramadine, is originally from the Gambia in Africa. And she was one of our graduate students years ago and is now the executive director of the agency. And so that's kind of, we hire a lot of our graduate students. So, which is very helpful for them, but also very helpful for us. So we spend 9 months training them. And when it works out and we have openings at the right moment in time, we're able to hire graduate students who we've already trained. So the grad students have been fabulous. They provide lots of services to people who otherwise wouldn't get services. And then we have our office managers are wonderful. Our whole staff, so there's about 39 or 40 of us all together, and it's a really multicultural group of people. So we have staff representing a number of the different African cultures. So a lot of people from the Congo, from Somalia, from the different countries, from Iraq, from Afghanistan. I can't think right now, but anyway, it's a very multicultural staff, which brings a great deal of strength to us, both in terms of understanding cross-cultural issues and understanding cultures other than our own, as well as bringing language expertise to the table so that people are able to receive services in their own languages as much as possible. Yeah. Frequently, that's not possible. especially for the clinical services. So we also depend a great deal on interpreters, who without them, we would not be able to do the cross-cultural work that we do. So we have a clinical team that includes 10 clinicians plus a fabulous supervisor. And then we have a community-based team that includes case management, skills training for people who have either lost skills because of the mental health challenges or never had them in the first place, that will help them function in the world. We have a family support person who provides family supports to people who have children who are struggling with mental health issues. And then we have a peer support program that's provided by people who have had their own mental health issues and struggles and are in their own recovery, and they are able to provide unique supports to our clients who are struggling through things. So the staff are just absolutely fabulous. They are really a great group of people.
It's the backbone of any organization, and especially what you're accomplishing by helping out this community. Kathy, thanks so much for the efforts that you've given. Thanks for having a platform for people to find you and get the help that they need, especially with the amount of credible talent that you've managed to recruit to your team. I don't know how you do it, but it's incredible. Hey, before we leave, I wanted to make sure that we use this platform if there's anything else you wanted to educate the community on that we didn't talk about prior to going live today.
The one thing that we do that's unique to us, I think, as a mental health agency, is really focus a lot on community building. So not only do we provide clinical services to individuals and families, but we also get involved in the community and prior to the pandemic, we hosted a monthly community dinner that was multicultural. So it provides a space where people who need to form a new community of belonging are able to come and do that. It also provided a space where American-born people who want to learn about refugees can come and actually interact with refugees and become friends with them. And so that the community building aspect is a huge part of people's healing because they have lost all of their community connections when they come here. And so reforming that is also a big part of what we do.
Well, you're practicing what you preach, Kathy, because you actually invested in the chamber. And that's one of the first things that we love to share is chamber members that invest in the chamber typically do business with other businesses that invest in their local communities, just like you, Kathy. So thank you for taking the time to help educate me more on your story. I'll be sure to share it as well. And really appreciate your investment in the community through your chamber membership, Kathy.
Thank you very much. Thank you for hosting this and giving me the platform to be able to tell the story.
Absolutely. Well, say hi to the team there. It's been awesome to meet some of you. I can't wait to do if we haven't done a ribbon cutting, we need to do a ribbon cutting at your space and get more people involved. So anybody who's watching, take a look at their website, give them a call, schedule a meeting, get a tour. Thanks again, Kathy.
Thank you.